the Pennzoil 400 for a second straight year. Here comes Labonte. Bobby Labonte is the NASCAR Winston Cup champion for 2000.
Breathe, Bobby. You can breathe now.
Bobby Labonte, the 24th NASCAR Winston Cup champion, closes out Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt with a fourth-place finish at the Pennzoil 400 in Homestead today.
This was the peak of the career of Bobby Labonte. Labonte had risen through the ranks in the late 90s, going from a young driver with potential to a consistent driver to a real championship contender. And in 2000, he put it all together and gave Coach Joe Gibbs his first of so far 5 Cup Series championships. But after beating out the likes of Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Burton, and Jeff Gordon, it all ended up going downhill from here. But this isn't some fast plummet, but more so a gradual stroll to said plummet. While not being able to keep up with the championship contenders in 2001 like Gordon and Dale Jarrett, he still did have a great season. But throughout the first half of the season, he still was winless. A great show of Labonte's skill, though, would be put on display at Pocono.
If the 8-car runs out of fuel, you're all over the back of him. You may not have time to get...
Oh, here he goes. Junior ducks low. Labonte's got the outside lane as they head for turn 3.
Dale Jr. struggling off that tunnel corner over there. He got loose that time.
Bobby's got the run to the outside. They squeeze. Labonte takes the lead. 2 laps to go. Labonte tries to crowd Junior low to turn 1. Dale has the inside line.
Still there. They're high. Side, outside.
Oh! He squeezed up somehow in front of Bobby Labonte.
Clear. Inside.
Blocking, ducking, diving. Junior's got the preferred inside line to this corner. But Labonte's by. He started today's race in the 11th spot. He passes Dale Earnhardt Jr. with 2 laps to go. And Bobby Labonte wins the Pennsylvania 500.
And his season overall still was really high caliber. 2 wins, 19 top 5s, 24 top 10s, and a 6th place points finish encapsulated a valiant follow-up to the championship season he had. But the 2002 season created the first step towards Labonte's downfall. The season was straight up mediocre, and by the end of the season, the crew chief that had helped him to the 2000 championship, Jimmy Makar, was replaced. The man who was put in his spot would be Michael Fatback McSwain. Yes, I said that right. Fatback McSwain. While Labonte's performance improved in 2003, it was merely a last gasp in his competitive career consistently. With an 8th place points finish, he was consistently competitive and a reliable driver. 2 wins also were accrued in this season, as well as the second of which was pretty memorable.
Pulled off the win at the Rock last weekend. Now he's going to make it 2 in a row to bring down the 2003 season. Oh, look at that. Is he on the flat?
On the last lap. The last lap, he must have a flat tire.
Bobby Labonte's by. Can you believe that? Elliott is off the pace. Never give up.
Watch out, Bill.
Fatback McSwain is going to get to do a victory dance for us. Last lap drama at Homestead. Bobby Labonte wins the Ford 400.
McSwain and Labonte's first season together was a solid foundation for what would hopefully only continue in 2004. With a new chase for the Nextel Cup, all he needed to do was make the top 10 in points with 10 races to go. Starting the season, this looked to be a cakewalk. With 8 races until the chase, Labonte sat 6th in points, almost a full race of points ahead of 11th. While not having won a race all season, he had finished in the top 10 in half of them. But due to differences between the two, as well as between McSwain and JGR, Fatback was let go. Replacement crew chief Brandon Thompson would be placed atop the 18 box, and this spelled doom for Labonte's season.
Into a casino. Crashing. Bobby Labonte's into the wall. Turn 1. Just misses getting collected as he skids back across the racetrack.
Hey, that's a damage on that thing.
And that's 2. Jeff Burton and now Bobby Labonte just
almost knocked the rear end off these cars.
Opposite ends of the racetrack. That turn one, we talked about it earlier. I had kind of labeled on my notes turn one terror as the piece that I had in mind. You are flying when you go into that corner to brake, turn, the bumps, downshift.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Bobby Labonte. Not happy. Looks like he got hit.
He's going to get hit by, looks like, well, I don't want to say.
Brian Vickers.
Brian Vickers, that's who I thought it was.
Racing for 12th and 13th there, BP.
On top of the Pocono crash, Labonte failed to finish above 11th. And after a 20th place run at California, he was out of the chase one race before the cutoff. 12th in the standings, 36th behind 10th place Mark Martin. Labonte wasn't really a factor either at Richmond, and he would miss out on the inaugural chase. With only a pair of 9th place runs to end the year, 2004 went down the drain as a lost season. 12th in the points and winless with the lowest amount of top 5s in a decade for his career, it sparked concern. Suddenly, over 4 years after his championship, Labonte had become an inconsistent and generally fading driver. 2005 would be a true gauge on the direction of his career.
Oh, yeah, there was smoke, all right.
That was a hard lick.
It really was, and Boy Jr. just tried to move up a little too quickly and caught the back of Vickers' car. Not sure what he was thinking.
All the drivers have climbed out on ROK. There was just nowhere for Ricky Rudd to go in a 21 car.
With a last lap loss to Jimmy Johnson in the Coke 600 that year, the competitive career of Labonte was over. 10 DNFs encapsulated the finality of his career at JGR. Starting in 2006, he would take over the famous Petty Enterprises 43 Dodge. Surprisingly, the 42-year-old veteran actually improved upon his 2005 campaign, with 1 extra top 10, 2 less DNFs, and a 3-spot increase in points over the last season. The trend of upping a points finish continued as he went up to 18th in points in 2007. But from this point onwards, it would be a hard tumble downwards towards retirement. In 2008, he dropped back to 21st in points, and after Petty merged with Evernham, he was left without a ride. This landed him at the tattered remains of Hall of Fame Racing, the ill-fated team owned by Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman. With the old quarterbacks gone from the team, though, it was just a shell and husk of its old self. But Labonte did what he could and at least managed a top 5 at Las Vegas. Moving over to the 71 Chevy in 2010, he only had one highlight.
Joe Nemechek's picked up a...
around goes Bobby Labonte.
Oh, no.
Missed it by that much.
Wow. Attaboy. Good save, bud.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
While this was a damn good save, the fact that a near wreck in Daytona 500 practice is the highlight of his season shows just how far down the bar had fallen by 2010. Labonte would have one last gasp of normality, though, at the end of his career. JTG had signed him onto the 47 car from 2011 to 2013. With diminishing competitive cars, Labonte by default finished in the top 30 in points, between 20th and 30th each year. And by 2014, his full-time days were permanently over. In 2016 at Talladega, he made his final career start in Cup, starting 38th and finishing 31st. With 21 victories and a 2000 season championship, Labonte put together a Hall of Fame career. And in 2020, he would be inducted into the Hall as part of the 11th class, 4 years after his brother Terry Labonte was inducted. A fitting end to a successful career. But I have to ask you, what do you remember about Bobby Labonte's career? Do you remember his Hall of Fame worthy first half? Or do you remember the second half after 2004 onwards, where he was a mid-pack driver? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what everybody's perspective of Labonte was. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. And until next time, have a good one.